Welcome back, YouTube. So, as I'm sure most of you know, Dogecoin is in fact rallying, and we talked about this a few days ago when we got this this handle here, this hammer, excuse me. This here, typically, if you were going to be day trading, this here is a bullish reversal candle. So, technically, if you are on a downtrend, you're looking for something like this. It's another indicator, kind of like the engulfing candle that we threaten to have here, but they managed to push it down and we didn't get the engulfing candle. If we got the engulfing candle, that would have been a bullish sign that we're getting ready for a reversal. But in fact, the next day we got the hammer, which means that there was a great push down, but the price was pushed back up. And typically we almost close positive. So if you typically see this hammer, if you were trading, you would wait for a confirmation candle, which is what we got yesterday, which would be the green candle. And then technically that's when you would enter your trade. So from now, you would have your bullish reversal signal, you would have your confirmation candle, and then you would get in. So for those of you interested to start day trading, there's a little trading lesson for you right there. So ultimately, this would be the beginning of the run here, and then obviously when you get in profit, again, that's when you would start locking in your stop losses and your trailing stop losses and all that good stuff. So little trading lesson here at the beginning of the video. But overall, this here is setting up Dogecoin for the retest at 22 cents. So as we mentioned before, this is really big. Why? Because typically we have two tests here and then we break above it. So ultimately this here, if we are able to maintain this run, not necessarily saying that this candle is going to run from 19 to 22, I mean, which it may. We've certainly seen candles, some big candles here on this run. And again, once we're in this zone technically opens us up to around the 26 to 30 cent mark. We just have some light resistance here around 22. So it's not saying that that is not in play, but the big thing here for us to get above right now is 22. So even if we can close at 23 or even close at 22 with this candle, we are in great shape here to extend the next leg of this run here. And just to kind of, if this is the first video you're seeing, I'm going to zoom out so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I want to put it into perspective. So this is roughly where we are now. This is the top of this zone. Hold on. So too much zoom. Zooming back in. Okay. So this is where we are now. This is the top of this zone here, which is at around like 29, 30 cent. If you're using 0.5, I don't typically like to use 0.5 on fib. But if you were, for those of you that do, you'll know that you'll have it coming in at around 26 cents. So that's why I say 26 to 30. So typically, which is where we are now, when we have, where was the last two retest, which was around 22, 24 back in December of 2021. And then we have another test at around 21.67, roughly 22 cent in January of 2022, right? And so if you think about the levels which we rallied at, you'll have some around 22, 23 here. You'll see where we broke out and went up to 35. By the way, that's going to be a major point here as well with that 30 and 35 range, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That is typically where we've retested is around 22. And then we have that run. So technically the run here would be this zone here, which is where we are. Technically that opens up this zone to the 30 range. Obviously the next big point is 35. And the only thing that technically, the reason I say 26 to 30 is because this run is more organic than the last run that we have. So the reason I'm saying 26 to 30 is because we could have a lot of people that are taking profit. The people that, because right now we are growing massively, and I think that's going to play a part in the amount of coins that are being distributed, the amount of wallets that's opening up. As you guys know, we've been tracking it. We've had over 1 million new wallets in the last 3 months added. So, but I think that what we have is a bunch of people who have held since 2021, and the people that did in fact average down over the last few years. So they're going to be 2, 3, 4, 500% in profit around those levels there. So you can expect kind of there to be some profit taking there, not necessarily thinking that they're going to jump out of the bull run, but I do think that there'll be some profit taking there. And the reason I think that this bull run is going to be Even though I think that it's not even think it, even though I know that this is a more organic run because we're not dealing with hype or with the Elon tweets and all that kind of good stuff. The reason I think that this bull run has the potential to be more explosive than any of the other ones is primarily what we talked about a few weeks ago. We were saying that the coins were running early, right? We say that Dogecoin, the altcoins, Doge is running, the altcoins are running, they're running prior to the halving, they're running with Bitcoin. And also, what we discussed, Bitcoin has done something that it didn't do before, which was the all-time highs before the halving. So we have a lot of things. We have a lot of firsts that's going on with this cycle. We have the altcoins running first. We have Doge breaking out and retesting, going into leg number 2 before the halving. Bitcoin setting an all-time high before the halving. So this is what we mean by the aggressiveness of this run here. And I think that where this run is going to end up may actually shock a lot of the people here, because we have the ETFs coming in, we have the futures coming soon for Doge. So in addition to because we knew there's some institutional involvement with the coins, but now what we're seeing is the crypto community growing. We see records being broken, and now we know that institutional money is coming into crypto. We're seeing the ETFs, we're seeing the futures involvement. We know that big money is making an avenue to distribute capital into the market. So I think that what we're looking at is over the next couple of cycles, especially this one, I think this was going to be the one that I think this is kind of going to be the last cycle that we see before we see like major adoption, right? So the 2020, 2021, that was the one that was where retail kind of piled in and, shocked the world. That's when the Fed was like, we're investigating, we're going to do Fed coin, and we hit a $4 trillion market cap. I think we're going to hit 10 trillion this go around. And I think that after this bull cycle, it's like, okay, well, crypto is here, and how do we get in on this? And a lot more so on a not necessarily a macro, but on a micro level. I think this is where we're going to see businesses and stuff come in there, because we see the macro as far as for the government, the institutions, they're coming in. So next is going to be the micro, which is going to be the businesses on a peer-to-peer level. So things like your X payments, things like being able to go and purchase things with Doge at buy gas with Doge, just little small things like that. We're going to see those opportunities come along between the end of this cycle and the next one. That is my firm belief here as far as for the adoptions of the coin. So what we're looking at, I want to take a look here at the shorts as well. As always, you guys know I love covering shorts. I'm just going to switch charts. The biggest thing with the shorts are the fact that they know better than to get in right now. And they've been very smart. And that's why I've been telling people, if you are going to say that the coin is going to sell off or have a downtrend, make sure that the actions are aligning with that. And they have not been. Even when Doge was 3 days red, they took the opportunity. Even though the coin was red, they didn't increase their position. You didn't see candles like this. This is when they got absolutely destroyed, and they got destroyed here too. But you didn't see them increase their positions. They had no faith that the coin was going to go down further. And in fact, they were right. So this kind of shows you that when they look and see, okay, longs are piling into the coin, let's not jump into that right now. Let's not increase our positions here. We're probably on the brink of a run. And then we had the whale transaction earlier today, and this is kind of was like a catalyst almost to kind of help with this run here. So ultimately, we're looking at a flat line for shorts. So we're not going to see any artificial selling pressure from there. So we would have to get a retail sell-off or some big traders in order to make a difference here at around 22. We'll see. Bitcoin shorts have been declining, flat line for the day so far, 0.09. So nothing really to talk about. Hanging out around that 14, but below the 200. 200, if I'm going to go back. So 200 is the red line. 14 is the yellow here. And Bitcoin price is doing something very similar to Doge, which is why I wanted to point out, you're getting those same indicators. They're trending together. You have the hammer here, again, the confirmation candle, and then the following green candle, which is at the 14. So this here is a reversal. We all like same thing here. Kind of was going to get an engulfing candle, got pushed down here, and it kind of settled in the middle, so it wasn't completely upward to create an engulfing candle. But the next day, they pushed it down dramatically, and it was bought up just like Doge. And you got the hammer. And the following day, you got the green, closed higher, got your confirmation, and now we have established that the new trend is up. So until we get a reversal candle going the opposite way, the new trend for Doge and for Bitcoin right now is up. So for those of you that were hoping for 15, not this time. So maybe, maybe if we have another push down before the halving or something like that, we'll see. But right now, until we get some reversal candles, it's up. So we'll be keeping track of this. Let me find. I'm going to go over to Coin Market Cap because I want to see how the other coins are doing. So sometimes I prepare a little bit before I record, but today we're going through everything live as I gather data. Let's see. So 1 hour, 283. Let's see. 20 billion. Excuse me, 20. Okay, so 20 million there. Okay. Doge is number 8. Can I see it? Oh, matter of fact, let's check on Cardano because I'm worried about, not really, but I know Cardano's probably going to fall out of the top 10. I don't want to sit up here and say I'm worried about it because I'm not, but 256 million. In the last 24. Yeah, I don't think Cardano's going to stay in the top 10. This is really lackluster performance here because the gap is only getting bigger. Like it was like 4 million, 5 million. Now there's like a $8 billion gap between Cardano and Dogecoin, but there's a $2 billion gap between Toncoin and Cardano. They're going to get, if it's not Toncoin, it's going to be Avalanche. Like there's only a few hundred million between these two. Cardano is really struggling here to stay in the top 10. And you would think that a coin as as popular as Cardano is wouldn't be struggling, but it is. So the 7 days, the trend is showing very similar, but as you can see, this, like I said, institutional money being swapped around, identical with a Bitcoin, identical with Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Doge, Cardano, are identical trends here, really. So Cardano's kind of flatlining, and Doge is certainly going up here. Toncoin over their last week is certainly doing the best, but capital wise, Doge is doing absolutely fine here. This 11% rally in the last 24 hours, only down 2.9% for the week. So Bitcoin is about to be week positive. Ethereum has 4% to go. So yeah, there's another thing too, and I wanted to kind of touch on that because I do believe this is why I said that we have the potential here to leapfrog XRP, just because of the amount of capital that's going into here, and like when you see the capital Cardano being stagnant, and then the capital flowing into Doge much faster than XRP. We'll see. I know there's some catalysts here, some things coming up on the chart for XRP, so maybe they'll get a boost. But right now, it is certainly being close, even with USDC as well. So there's something kind of keep in mind when we are going through the motions here. Now we're going to take a look at longs versus shorts because I believe longs aren't buying as aggressive. So you'll probably see an increase in shorts, at least the percentage wise. Let's see. Yep, that's what we're seeing. So on the 5 minutes, 69 to 70, 69 to 30, 69 to 30, pretty much in the 5 minute, the 30, and the 1 hour. So that's kind of what we're talking about. So because technically up over the last few days, it was 75.25, 76.24 roughly. So the longs looks like they've got a comfortable position based on their swapping. So we're seeing somewhat of a decrease in the longs. 4 hours still 70%, 29, and on the 1 day still 70, 29. So let's take a look at OI. Yeah, 1.3, another 100 million into open interest. So yeah, this is what we're seeing. After their positioning, you'll see, typically you'll see it run. Yep. So this is what we're talking about over the last few days. I was like, hey, despite the candles being red, that's not what's being priced in behind the scenes. And you have lagging indicators, you have current indicators. If you look at a chart of like a 1 minute or so, and then you have indicators that can kind of predict what's going on behind the scenes, and certainly open interest, those options, and when we get the futures, all that kind of stuff, that's going to tell you what the market is kind of pricing in before you're able to see it on the chart. And that's very important here. If you're considering being long an asset or taking a trade or something, it'll give you an idea what's going on behind the scene. Let's take a look at liquidations really quick. Yeah, so longs are pretty much backing out of the market now. They're happy with their position. They're not liquidating, and that's also playing a part in this run as well. It's just shorts, shorts are going to short. That's what they're going to do, but they're not. This is a 24-hour. So we just saw on the chart here so far as like the actual live candle that they're not taking much position. But when we were looking earlier throughout the weeks, we typically longs were dominating both ends of the spectrum. They were doing most of the liquidating and doing most of the purchasing. So right now they're pumping the brakes on the liquidation and on the purchasing. So they've acquired their positions, and now we're getting the run. So again, that's definitely comes down to TA, and you can kind of see and have those expectations of the market movement prior to it having. So this is what we've been talking about. Go back to the chart here. I believe this is the shorts. So 1972, so 0.2627 away from the retesting around the 20. So what we're looking for, the big number is, I know 20 cents is round, there's a psychological aspect to it, but the big number that we're looking for is 22. That is where that's where things get interesting. That is where we need to close above. That is I'm not even going to say it's our Goliath right now, because we have actual points of resistance, but we'll see if time is going to be different. I know it's a little dangerous to say that, but based off of history, 22 is not a strong level of rejection. So we'll see if they in fact come in and start trying to take profit or drive it down, or if short spike or something like that. That is TBD right now, but right now that's the big number, and we will probably do a retest sometime tonight. As I put on X last night, Doge likes to run in the middle of the night, so that's something we're probably going to have to see in the next 3 or 4 hours what's going to happen. So that's my price point update. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to try and beat Bitcoin to 100,000 by getting 100,000 subscribers first. So if you found any value here, certainly please consider subscribing. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'll get to as many of them as possible, and I will see you guys in the next video.